Almost Show. All the top tunes.
Hey, Mulligan.
What do you do? I don't know. Getting just what they get in the big house.
It's the Joey and Rory Show. This week's special guest, Phil O'Donnell. This week's episode brought to you by Roper Apparel. Wear the West. And now, she's from Alexandria, Indiana, and he's from Iowa, Missouri, Kansas, Kentucky. They moved around a lot. Anyway, here they are, Joey and Rory.
It was the first time ever he saw her. He saw his future in a long white cotton gown sitting there at the church house. She was gonna get baptized. They was gonna have a dinner on the ground. Very next Friday, he got off at the sawmill. He slicked his hair back. He had a pocket full of pay. When she opened up the front door, he was grinning like a possum. As he handed her a daisy, she heard him say, "Hey, let's go dancing to the tune of a $20 bill. They got a fine fiddle band at the barn up on the hill. And by midnight we just might wind up dancing, standing still. By my daddy's lantern light, let me walk you home." After they got married, it didn't seem like no time. They's saying their goodbyes. He's a-going to the big world war about a lifetime later. She's a-waiting at the depot. He said, "I ain't gonna leave you, no, never, no more." Said, "Let's go dancing to the tune of a $20 bill. They got a fine fiddle band at the barn up on the hill. And by midnight we just might wind up dancing, standing still. By my daddy's lantern light, let me walk you home." Friends and kinfolk and all of us grandkids in the same little church house. In a long white cotton gown, he bent down and he kissed her. He said, "I'm right behind you, honey." It wasn't long till we laid him in the ground. And now they're dancing to the tune of a $20 bill. They got a fine fiddle band at the barn up on the hill. And by midnight they just might wind up dancing, standing still. By the Father's lantern light, they're walking home.
Now, we didn't write that song, but we sure love it. Y'all don't go anywhere. We're going to be right back.
You'll be all right.
His and Hers, the brand new album from ACM winners Joey and Rory.
When I'm gone.
Order yours now at joeyandrory.com.
This week's special guest, Phil O'Donnell.
My name's Phil O'Donnell, and I write songs for a living and produce records, raise children, like football, like to hunt and fish, love the Lord, put Him first in your life, and everything else will come along all right, I reckon. I was born in New Brunswick, Canada, but I came here in 1983 to Nashville, slept in a van in Shoney's parking lot, and we would sneak over to their pool over there at their hotel and have our shower. And I was a stonemason, did a lot of that, and it kind of helped pay the light bill and whatnot till I had a few songs cut. I've always been the guy to wear coveralls and overalls and stuff like that. And Rory actually used to walk around in kind of parachute pant looking bell bottoms, looked kind of floozy looking, so he saw me and he thought, he looks pretty manly. So next thing I knew, he was going to Tractor Supply to get some coveralls. And of course, when he got looking very manly, he landed him a pretty fine looking lady. Matter of fact, he got really the best end of that deal. And I want to thank Joey and Rory for having me on the show. It's an honor. They're some of the nicest folks I've ever met.
July moonlight shines, your pretty little head on my shoulder. I pulled over on the side of the road. Oh my God, you're something like nothing I've ever seen. If I'm asleep, girl, let me dream. Baby, fall into my kiss. It should just happen like this. Trust it so much that there's no one else but us. And this moment that says it's alright, 'cause that's all we have in this life. Come on and drink up this love. Baby, give it all we got tonight. Summer honeysuckle leaking through a roll-down window. We both know when that seat goes back, anything can happen. Girl, imagine it'll never end. Close your eyes and you can see that we are where we're meant to be. And baby, fall into my kiss. It should just happen like this. Trust it so much that there's no one else but us. And this moment that says it's alright, 'cause that's all we have in this life. Come on and drink up this love and give it all we got tonight. Give it all we got tonight. Baby, fall into my kiss. It should just happen like this. Trust it so much that there's no one else but us. And this moment that says it's alright, 'cause that's all we have in this life. Come on and drink up this love. Baby, give it all we got tonight. Give it all we got tonight.
My name's Rory, I greet 'em at the door when I ain't washing dishes or sweeping the floor. I'm a real hard worker, I'm hardly ever late, and in the last 2 weeks I've only broke one plate. Y'all come on in, sit wherever you want.
On the third Saturday of each month here at Marcy Jo's, we have a songwriters night. Now back there behind where the cameras are is a little stage set up with some lights from our chicken house. We're really high tech here. We bring in some of the best songwriters in Nashville for a great night of music. We also serve a wonderful meal and some wonderful desserts. One of our most requested desserts is what we're making today, our homemade peach cobbler with vanilla ice cream.
Yeah, actually, this is my recipe that I brought in to the restaurant. I've made it, so many times. A friend of mine from Texas taught me how to make this about 23 years ago. So I'm gonna start off and tell you guys, it's 3 cans of peaches, and you're just gonna get a 9x13 pan, and you're just gonna spray it.
Are these peaches, are they kind of already sweetened a little bit with some syrup?
Yeah.
So we have some sugar
and
in here.
And heavy syrup, the kind that you get at the store that's just the...
Right.
And the heavy, there you go. So that's perfect. So you're just gonna take that, and then we got the dry ingredients, which you have over there.
I just have some flour, a little bit of sugar, some baking powder, a little bit of salt, and then I want to cut in some Crisco, some butter flavored Crisco, shortening in here.
Kind of gives it that crumble.
Make it a nice crumble.
Yeah.
The thing that's great about this dessert, and Marcy, everybody loves it, and I'm so glad you brought this to the restaurant, is that it's just really quick and easy.
It really is.
This is one of those desserts that you just, takes 10 minutes?
It really does. Just
most.
whip it together in 10 minutes and it's ready. And I tell you, it's one of our most requested desserts.
Absolutely.
It really is. I mean, people love it, and it's so good, just right out of the oven with a scoop of vanilla ice cream.
And talking about our songwriters night, so that is the third Saturday of each month, like we talked about. And for those of you who have maybe been to Marcy Jo's before, you've seen the building and you see how many people we can sit in here. Not very many. So usually it's a sellout for these songwriters nights. And we do bring in a lot of great musicians and songwriters. Usually they're some of our friends that we know, and they're all hit songwriters, so they've had hits on the radio.
And so you're just gonna pour that over there on top.
I
layer
love
it really
the
good.
feel of a good streusel in your hand.
And this is, this is really, really easy.
And then what's the final step, Marcy?
And so after that's all spread all over there, you're gonna take a stick of butter and you're just gonna cut it in little slices there and just kind of put it all over there.
And then you're gonna put this in the oven. You're gonna preheat your oven to 350.
Yeah.
Throw this in the oven for about 35 to 45 minutes. It really depends. So you can, and if you want to make a double batch of this, which is what we do, you want to cook it a little bit longer, but we like to make sure that the top is nice and brown. Really, really crunchy on top. And so 35 to 40 minutes, depending on your oven. Pop that baby out, serve it with some ice cream.
And then I've also, it's up to you, but I like to add a little bit of cinnamon and sugar on top too.
That's the best part, by far.
Yeah.
Well, talking about all this music and everything, and the songwriters nights that we have, you see Hopi, our daughter, she's waiting tables today. She's helping us back there, and she started taking bass lessons.
Oh, that's great.
Well, her bass teacher is with us, and he is going to test our food. Come on up here, Mr. Weber. Y'all, this is Mike Weber, a good friend of ours. How are you, sir?
Doing good, thanks.
Looking good as usual.
Well, thank you.
Well, tell us a little bit about your history of your music, and you've been playing for some well-known people.
Well, yeah, I came here in 1981 from Virginia, Northern Virginia, and I was kind of in the Navy earlier than that. And I came down here and looking for some work, and I got to work with Danny Davis and the Nashville Brass at first.
Wow.
And I got to work with Chet Atkins for a little bit.
Oh my goodness.
Yep.
Wow, those are some big names.
Then the Judds for about 8 years. And,
oh, that's great.
I bet there are some amazing stories.
Well, there's a few, if I can only remember. It's always a problem. Oh, this looks great.
Oh, this is going to change your life. Now, if we had some ice cream, we'd serve that up for you too. But take a little bite there and see what you think.
Get some of that.
Does look nice. Look at all that juice.
I know, isn't that great?
Love that. Really, really nice. Well,
good.
Not too bad?
Not too bad. No.
Oh, good.
No, this is great. Thanks.
Well, great seeing you. Thanks for helping
You're
with those
welcome.
bass lessons.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, there you have it, folks. This is our homemade peach cobbler here at Marcy Jo's, where we're changing lives
one bite at a time.
My buddy over our band, he drives this old piece of junk car, and he pulled up there at the valet one time, one of them fancy music things, and he got out and smoked a cigarette, and the valet said, "You smoke?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "How much them cigarettes cost you?" He said, "I don't know, about $4 a pack." He said, "How many packs you go through in a day?" He said, "I go through 2. He said, "That's $8 a day." He said, "Yeah." He said, "Well, that's like $400 a month." He said, "I guess it is." He said, "That's like almost $1,500 a year." He said, "Yeah, I guess it is." He said, "Do you know that if you put that money in the bank and the compound interest, that you could afford to buy a new Ferrari?" My buddy said, "Do you smoke?" He said, "No, I don't smoke." He said, "Well, where's your Ferrari?" Think about it.
You go from rags to riches, far to fame,
from digging ditches to the whole world knows your name. You'll stand in the spotlight till the light goes dim, and it's rags to riches, to rags again.
A few months ago, we were invited to come on the country's family reunion cruise, and in January, we flew from Nashville to Fort Lauderdale to board the ship and set sail to Belize and Cozumel.
We are boarding. Almost there.
Both of our daughters got to come with us on this trip, and though we'd been on 2 cruises as a family before, this one was special because we were not only on the boat with Larry and a bunch of country music artists we love, but we were also on the cruise with more than 1,000 new friends and fans from all across the country. The ship was called the Liberty of the Seas, and it was big and it was beautiful.
Why did you bring these long socks?
After getting settled in our staterooms, they pulled up the big anchor and we headed out to sea just as the sun was setting over the faraway city. Though we were all far from our Tennessee homes, for those few days the ocean was filled with the sounds of down-home country music as the ship's big showroom became the home of Larry's Country Diner and Country's Family Reunion.
I remember when I was 12, I stole a dime store comic book, and how Mama read where there's...
The shows were so much fun to be part of. Besides us, some of the other artists performing on the cruise were Gene Watson, Bill Anderson, Mo Bandy, T. Graham Brown, Rhonda Vincent, Jeannie Seeley, Johnny Lee, Linda Davis, Ronnie Robbins, and of course Nadine and the whole Larry's Diner cast. Most of them we'd met before, but we all got to know each other much better by the end of the week. Every night, we'd all join together in the grand ballroom for a wonderful dinner. It was fun to dress up a little bit and be with so many wonderful people from so many places. I even wore my tuxedo overalls. The first port we stopped in was Belize, and we decided to stay on the ship while our 2 daughters went ashore for an all-day excursion. They got to fly high above the treetops in the jungle, on zip lines, and float on inner tubes through beautiful crystal caves. They had a ball and took lots of pictures and video for Mom and Dad to see. A day or 2 later, we arrived in the Mexican port of Cozumel. For fun, we had matching bracelets made for all of us that had our names on them. All except for me, mine somehow said Roby. If you've never been on a cruise, you're missing out on a wonderful time. There are so many fun things to do on the ship. From swimming pools, movie theaters, workout rooms, karaoke, ice skating rinks, they even have a shopping mall built right in the center of the boat. There's nothing quite like watching the sun rise or set from the balcony of your stateroom and falling asleep to the gentle rocking of the waves. It was truly a week full of memories that our family will never forget. We hope to come back and do it again next year, and we hope to see you then, too. set. Girl pulled up beside me in a candy apple red Corvette. She pulled down her shades and gave me a wink, gave her a little smile back. Then she laughed as she hit the gas, and I remember where I was at. It's hard to be cool when you're behind the wheel of a 8-passenger automobile in a big bubble, cruising down the street with Barney blaring in a baby seat. It can be done, but I'm telling you, man, it's hard to be cool in a minivan. Yeah, I used to have a souped-up hot rod, man, I spared no cost. 283, 4 on the floor, headers and dual exhaust. About the time the family came, well, that's the first thing that went. The preacher said, for better or worse, now I know what he meant. 'Cause it's hard to be cool when you're behind the wheel of a 8-passenger automobile in a big bubble, cruising down the street with Barney blaring in a baby seat. Hey, it can be done, but I'm telling you, man, it's hard to be cool in a minivan. Now, I wouldn't change my life a bit. I'm a lucky man, I know. Just wish my wife and kids could fit in a 67 GTO. 'Cause it's hard to be cool when you're behind the wheel of a 8-passenger automobile in a big bubble, cruising down the street with Barney blaring in a baby seat. It can be done, but I'm telling you, man, it's hard to be cool in a minivan. Come on, boys, can I hear an amen? It's hard to be cool in a minivan.
You know, hon, if this all were to go away, I'd just stay home and sing for you.
Just like it used to be.
Not planning our day around the TV set, paying our bills and staying out of debt. That's important to me. That's important to me.
Don't forget about what's most important to you.
I'm Joey.
And I'm Rory. Tune in again next week. Same place, same time.